Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Art with Miss Forrest. This is episode 2, another rainbow umbrella. But this one's a little bit more simplified, and I learned some things from last time. First of all, no more vertical video. So here is our little setup. We are going to be doing this picture today using crayons and markers and a little bit of colored pencil. That is what is called mixed media because we are using 3 different kinds of materials. The first thing on your paper is your name and your teacher's name. The first thing on your paper is your name and your teacher's name. Miss Forrest needs to know who did the work and who your teacher is. So the first thing on your paper is your name and your teacher's name. And you're going to turn your paper over, and we are going to start by sketching out our scene. So I am hoping we can trace some hexagons. If you notice in the middle, the color wheel umbrella is a hexagon or a 6-sided shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do have our hexagons, we can trace those to start our picture. That is going to be our umbrella that is in a hexagon shape, and we're going to have the colors of the rainbow in all 6 triangles. I'm also looking at shapes for the body or the raincoat. That's almost a triangle with the top cut off. And then I have kind of a funny rectangle, almost a house shape. It's pointy at the bottom for my pants. And then for my rain boots, so that's what we're going to draw first. Since I do not have a hexagon, I'm going to show you to trace. I'm going to show you how to draw a hexagon. So start kind of in the middle. That's where we want our rainbow umbrella to be. And we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're trying to make the lines about the same size, and they're all straight lines. Now I'm going over some of my lines because I'm noticing some of them are a little bit longer and some of them are a little bit shorter. So I want to make it a little bit more even. Don't worry, don't get discouraged if it's not perfect. That's why we have erasers. And I'm gonna erase some of my extra lines that I drew when I was trying to make my shape even. And then I'm going to divide up my hexagon into triangles. The way I do that is just connect the corners. So I'm going to draw a line here. Oops, my camera's moving. From the corner to the corner. From a corner to the corner. From the corner through the middle to the corner. You want to make sure to hit through the middle there each time so that you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. And then I like to put my letters of the rainbow on there so I remember my rainbow order. I'm going to use crayons to color those in, so I'm going to put R with my red crayon for red, O with my orange crayon for orange, Y with my yellow crayon for yellow, G with my green crayon for green, B with my blue crayon for blue, and P with my purple crayon for purple. Now I'm going to draw my raincoat. Remember, we said that was a triangle shape with the top cut off. So I'm going to imagine it first, my triangle shape, kind of drawing it without drawing to see how I want my shape. That's how I practice. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw. And I like that. My triangle here is a little bit smaller than my triangle before, but I think that will work. Now I'm going to draw 2 straight lines, actually 3 straight lines to make my pants. 1, 2, and then the one in the middle is going to come a little bit further down. That's going to make that sort of triangle or heart house shape, like an upside down house. That's where the tops of my boots are going to be. And then a straight line down. 2 more shorter straight lines for the sides of our boots. Oops. And now we're going to make a round shape for the toes of our boots. And then I'm going to bring that line down a little bit so they meet right at the corner. It's like you're keeping your feet together. And then I want to add a little line to the bottom of each. I'm going to have them have maybe a black sole on my yellow rain boots. Alright, so now I have my character. And then I'm going to add my scene. In my scene, I have my person is walking down a road. So there's a little bit of perspective here. Do you see how the road here is bigger, and then as it goes off into the distance, it gets smaller? And if it was to go all the way off the page, that would be our vanishing point, where these 2 lines come to a point and disappear. So when you're drawing with a vanishing point, you might want to use a ruler. I don't have a ruler right now, so I'm going to use my pieces of paper. And I'm going to imagine that my line is going to continue off the page, disappear. So I'm not drawing a straight line, I'm drawing a line at an angle. And then, to make that perspective, make it look like it's going off the page, I want to have kind of the same angle on the other side. So imagine this line is going to come and meet that other one at the vanishing point. When you're using a ruler, you want to make sure you use one hand to hold that ruler down and your other hand to trace along the edge of the ruler. And it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm just going to erase a little bit and then continue that line the way it should be. So that's going to be my road, and then I want to add some trees. I want to use perspective again. So this tree, since it's closer to me, is going to be bigger, and then trees that are further away or more in the distance are going to be smaller. See how this tree is bigger and this tree is smaller. So on this picture, I think I want my big tree to be on this side and my small tree to be on this side. Kind of the opposite of what I did over here, because I notice I have more room on this side. So I'm going to draw first. This is going to be a Y tree because it kind of makes the shape of a Y. So to make a Y tree, I'm going to start almost by drawing a Y. And then I'm going to make my branches come down to make a bigger trunk. I'm going to draw an oval on my trunk, almost like there's a hole that an animal might live inside, and I'll color that in with colored pencil later. And then to make my tree top and my leaves, I'm just going to make kind of a bushy tree. So I'm making almost like little curved lines, kind of like the same shape I make for clouds too. So there's my one tree, and then I want to draw another tree over here. This one is going to be in the distance, so it's going to be a lot smaller than this tree. But again, I start with my Y branches, and then I'm going to make my tree trunk, get a little bit wider at the bottom. And then make that cloud shape for my leaves, for my tree top. There we go. I also added some puddles in my picture too. Again, the puddles that are closer to us are bigger, and they get smaller as they get further away. To draw a puddle, I just draw kind of wavy lines. And I really like the number 3, so I'm going to draw 3 puddles. 1, 2, 3. Bigger, closer, medium size, and the smallest puddle is the furthest away. Now I'm ready to color. I already started with my crayons. I'm also going to be using markers and colored pencils today. So I'm going to color with crayon first on my umbrella. When I'm doing a rainbow, I like to do it in rainbow order. I'm going to start by drawing a triangle in the middle, a smaller triangle, and color that in first because I want to outline my umbrella with marker after I color it in with crayons. So I'm going to leave a little white edge here that I will use my marker to outline. Sometimes I like to say the rainbow order as I color it, so I know red, orange is next, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I went a little too close to the edge there, but that's okay. I want to try to make my triangle first to remember to leave a little bit of white on the edge. I always like to color a little bit darker with my yellow crayon because yellow is a lighter color. And then after yellow comes green. The color wheel is in rainbow order because that kind of shows you how colors relate to each other and how you can make colors from other colors. Like red and yellow, when you mix them together, make orange. After green comes blue, yellow and blue, when you mix them together, make green, which is in between those two colors. After blue comes purple. And this is why I like the color wheel instead of a rainbow, because the color wheel also has red and blue, when you mix together, make purple. So it shows you how all the colors kind of mix into each other. I'm going to add a little bit more blue to my triangle there. All right, now I think I want to color my trees with crayons too. To do my branches, I kind of make little circles with my crayon. This is a crayon technique or coloring technique called scumbling. You can do this with colored pencils too. I might actually try that. Do a little bit of colored pencil on top with a light green, or chartreuse is what this color is called, this really bright green. I don't know if you can see any of the bright green on top, but it adds a little bit of difference. Then I'm going to color my rain jacket. I want to have just a traditional bright yellow rain jacket. I like the way those look. I think it will look good with my composition, with my colors that I'm picking. Ooh, I might think about complementary colors too. Complementary colors on the color wheel are colors across from each other. So if I'm using yellow for my raincoat, maybe I want to use the complementary color purple for my rain boots, because yellow and purple are opposite or complementary. Red and green are also complementary colors, and orange and blue, complementary. I'm also leaving a little line again. I'm going to do marker to outline the edge. So I did a yellow rain jacket. I'm going to do the complementary color for my rain boots. So I'm going to have purple rain boots in this picture. Remember, in your picture, you can choose whatever color rain jacket and rain boots you would like. If you want to try a different complementary color combination, that might be really cool too. For example, you could have a red rain jacket and green rain boots, or you could have a orange rain jacket and blue rain boots. Remember, this is your art. You get to choose. All right, I am also going to color my puddles with blue. I want to make it look like it was raining, and that's why I have my umbrella, my rainbow color wheel umbrella, and my rain jacket, and my complementary color rain boots. Again, I'm scumbling, but this time I'm making sure to fill in. Here I left little spaces between my circles. Here I'm making sure to fill in my circles because I don't want there to be space in between. I want it to look like water, not leaves with spaces in between. Whoops. And then I might even add some raindrops coming down from the sky. I know I didn't do that before. I like the number 3, so I'm going to draw again 3 raindrops. Looking back at my picture from before to remember what I did. I think I actually used colored pencils to color my pants, the tree trunks, and the blacktop. So I'm going to take out my colored pencils. I'm looking for my black colored pencil for my blacktop, my blue colored pencil for my blue jeans, and my brown colored pencil for my tree trunk. And I also used the black colored pencil for the hole in my tree. When I'm coloring, I try to make sure to move the pencil or the crayon or the marker in the direction of what I want my shapes to look like, or my picture. For example, on my tree, I want my bark to look like it's going up and down along the bark and along the trunk and along the branches, which is why I'm moving my pencil kind of in an up and down motion when I go up the tree trunk, and then I go up and down but kind of to the side for each branch. For my jeans, I want to color pretty lightly because I want to add some tiny little lines to make it look like the stitching on the edges of my jeans. So since I'm going to be drawing on top of my colored pencil, I'm using it really lightly, so I'm not pressing very hard. See how it's a really, really light blue? Now I have my black colored pencil, and I'm just going to draw. My colored pencil keeps breaking. Maybe I'll use my regular pencil for this one. I'm just going to draw little lines, like little dashes. Oh, a regular pencil works just fine. And here, remember how before I was pressing really softly with the colored pencil? When I'm drawing these little lines on top with my regular pencil that's pretty sharp, I'm pressing pretty hard to make those lines look really dark. And I'm also outlining my jeans and the tops of my boots. Now I'm going to color the black top behind me. I like to turn the paper around sometimes when I'm coloring because it helps me get a little bit closer to the lines I already drew, and then I just kind of follow along those lines to fill in the spaces behind. So I kind of trace along the shapes that are already there before I fill it all in. I don't want to draw on top of my raindrops either, so I'm going to trace around those too. Oh, there's a little kitty hair. When you have cats, you end up finding cat hair everywhere. I'm sure my friends who have cats or dogs know that too. If I wanted to make this look like a road, and I wanted a yellow line like there is in a road if I was driving in my car instead of walking down a path, and I wanted to draw those little yellow lines, doing perspective means the yellow lines would be bigger down here and get smaller as they went away. Kind of like the road gets bigger down here, the path and smaller as it goes up into the distance. Again, I'm turning my paper as I color. I trace along the shapes I already drew so I don't color on top of them. That's how you make it look like the road is behind you. Now I'm going to come back in with my markers, and I am going to, like I said, outline the color wheel triangles with marker. I'm going to pause my video right here, but you can continue working on your art, and I will come back in another video to show you my final result. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.